A good Friday morning to you. Alex Giles here alongside Naya Harden on this Friday morning with a breaking news update on a story we have been following for hours now, Naya.
That's right, and this is all coming from software due to a major cybersecurity firm known as CrowdStrike experiencing some IT issues, forcing major problems with Microsoft systems around the globe. Now, CrowdStrike is seeing some major disruptions in other parts of things that they're involved in, including those ground stops being at airports and other companies, all this happening overnight.
Yeah, Naya, we know this has impacted the airlines in addition to a number of big companies, local governments around the world. But we know American, Delta, and United, they were all dealing with issues overnight into the early morning hours. They had ground stops in place. They had asked the FAA to help them ground all planes across the country because of those communication issues caused by these tech problems. We know there were dozens of canceled flights, dozens of delays just at Charlotte Douglas International Airport. So just a major situation here that has impacted a number of different entities and corporations around the world. We heard about issues at international airports as well, but we've been checking in at the airport all morning long because it just seemed like issue after issue.
That's right, and now some have lifted that ground stop, those airlines. However, those delays continue to be a problem. So Mary Calkins has been live this morning. She was there at 4 o'clock this morning, working to get new information for us right now. Mary, what do you want?
Well, Naya, Alex, believe it or not, I mean, it's even busier than it was when we showed you early this morning. I'm going to step out of the way so you can get an idea of just how long these lines are. This line actually wraps around several times. There are also the security up ahead. You can see just how busy that is. It is just absolutely packed here. Now, the good news, we do know the ground stop, that has been lifted for American Airlines. So American Airlines has resumed all flights. Of course, they're dealing with a massive amount of delays because they had stopped flights. Now they're trying to help those people get onto new flights. Now then, Delta and United, they also had a ground stop. Some of those flights are resuming, but not all of them. You are advised to check your airline's app so you can find out what has happened to your flight specifically. Now I'm going to pull up on my phone now. I have Flight Aware here for Charlotte Douglas. Total delays today here at Charlotte Douglas, 132 flights. Total cancellations today, 115. So again, you want to make sure you have your airline's mobile app and you can check the status of your flight. Again, especially if you are flying United and Delta, we know those two still impacted. Some flights have resumed, but not all of them. Alex, Naya.
Mary, we appreciate that. Definitely a mess of a situation over there at Charlotte Douglas. As you mentioned, Mary had been out there for several hours, and the crowd looked bad this morning during our newscasts on air, and she said it had gotten even worse. I guess as you have more people showing up to the airport, more people finding out that the flight might be a while before they take off.
Yeah, we're not just talking about Charlotte Douglas either. Yeah. We also have several different airports around the country, many of them international. We know it's summer travel that are going to be experiencing these delays, trying to get back on track. Meanwhile, we know that Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg has said to make sure you know your rights by going on to the State Department of Transportation's the Federal Department of Transportation's website. You'll be able to find out more information about what you can be compensated for when it comes to problems like this. I do want to go ahead and give you some updates, though, as to what we are seeing being impacted. So we know Visa, it's been reported, has been impacted by this. Amazon being impacted by this. We had mentioned the airlines being impacted by this. Now, at home, though, we are also getting information about the impacts. We know that DMV right now putting out on X, formerly known as Twitter, several DMV offices in the state of North Carolina are unable to assist customers. This morning, they say that they are monitoring the situation along with NCDIT, which is the Department of Technology, and they will resume service once the global outage has been repaired. Now, what does that mean? Well, we are already used to seeing long lines at the DMV here in our state. And so you can expect those lines to continue to be long. And if you have an appointment today, it is likely that will be canceled until further notice.
Yeah, definitely something folks are going to want to check on if they have an appointment scheduled for later in the day and they're planning on making that part of their schedule, heading over to that DMV office. We also mentioned local governments impacted. For instance, the City of Charlotte's website was down. So that's just one case where, I'm sure folks with the city didn't plan on waking up and having the entire website down. If you needed something off of that website, unfortunately, you're going to run into trouble with that as well. All right, Naya, we had mentioned CrowdStrike, that cybersecurity firm that's having the software issues connected to what sounds like a lot of the problems today. And we're hearing some information from the president and CEO.
That's right. Well, he had said on X, formerly known as Twitter, that this issue has been identified. He says this is not a security incident or a cyber attack. And he goes on to say that they are working with organizations to ensure they're communicating to make sure that they try to get everyone back on track.
Yeah, definitely an issue there. I know Microsoft 365 had also posted on social media actually earlier. They've been trying to provide updates about the situation because a lot of Microsoft systems have been impacted by this as well. They put to fix, users may restore their Windows 365 Cloud PC to a known good state prior to the release of the update from July 19th, 2024, today's update. It sounds like that might have been the root of some of the issues there. So Microsoft 365 has posted about some potential issues there. Pulling up here right on my phone right now, one of my colleagues, one of our digital producers, Luke Tucker, he just sent us an update. So I'm going to see if I can pull that up for us here, Naya. Looks like we got an airport update. CLT Airport put out an update saying, due to the ongoing global technology impacts, CLT advises passengers to not come to the airport unless they have confirmed their flight information with the airline. So that is huge. My goodness.
Well, I mean, we are talking about the airport already going through their renovations and everything else like that. So we know that that is already a very busy area, especially when we talk about the amount of vehicles that can get through that area. It can take hours and hours. Definitely some great advice, though, to ensure that you are making sure that your flight is actually going to be leaving. And the likeliness of you right now being put on another flight is also still up in the air because you have other airlines that they would usually use to send you over on another flight that are seeing the same issue.
I'm glad we were able to get that in. They just put that out at, I believe, what was that, 7:32 a.m. So it has been within the last hour, but literally the airport telling people, don't come to the airport unless you check with your airline and make sure everything is okay, because they're going to have a lot of people there right now.
Yeah, I do want to let you guys know as well that our team has been working behind the scenes to reach out to local government as well as Duke Energy when it comes to your utilities and things like that. We have been reaching out to hospitals, trying to get information as to how this is impacting them. We don't know. It seems like it's kind of in pockets when companies are fixing the issue. And so we're not sure when it is all going to be back up and running. So we want to keep you updated. We are doing our due diligence to reach out, get you that information. And as we get that, we'll continue to keep you updated on WBTV. Yeah,
the hope, fingers crossed, is that not too many organizations are impacted by this, but we already know it's impacting several different entities. So we'll see what happens. As Naya said, we'll continue to keep you posted. Naya, anything else you'd like to add?
Nothing else. Just make sure that you're staying updated on WBTV. We will be live on air at noon to bring you the latest information that we've learned.
Have a great rest of the day. Hopefully this doesn't snag up your start of the weekend plans too much. Please be safe as you move about the day today.